Good evening, everybody. It's the Saints man, the small van courier driver on the CX. It's Wednesday, the 3rd of December. 3rd of December, Jesus. 3rd of November. You can tell this is unedited. I don't edit anything. So whatever rubbish comes out, it comes out. This is Monday to Wednesday this week, which, how can I put it without being rude? Probably can't. It's piss poor, mate. Piss poor. Partly my own problem, my own fault. Today I had to be back. I could only work till 4 o'clock, latest. In fact, 3:30 in the end, latest, because I had to get back. I've been to the hospital. I have to have a diabetic screening on my eyes. I've got type 2 diabetes, and I've got glaucoma in this eye, so they have to check that the diabetes is not getting behind the eyes. I get that done every once a year. It was booked in for 6 o'clock originally, and then they asked if they could bring it forward to 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, which meant I had to get back. Really, I said I'd try and get there for 4. I got there actually just before 4. My wife has to take me because they put these really strong drops in my eyes, which make driving a bit awkward. So we'll go to Monday anyway. Monday, I got a job already on to Thatcham from obviously I picked up Friday, and they're on the back of the van, and I took them to Thatcham near Reading. I couldn't book it. It was a strange one. And normally when I do this job for the shipper, it's a flexi booking. I can go in as early as I want. But this one was to a different retail company, and you could only go in half an hour before. It was booked in at 11:30, so I had a pretty late start really for me. I went in at 11 o'clock. He says you can go probably an half hour before, and they took it at 11. It was 7 boxes, so that was good. I'm sorry about the dark light. We don't have any lights on. We just have a couple of lights on. Quite happy to not have many lights on. Don't like it too bright. And then from there, I picked a job up quite quickly from Thatcham within about 20 minutes. I picked a job up in Reading to go to Loughton, which is North London, just by the M11, the bottom of the M11. There's loads of jobs going to Loughton, and it's obviously lab. It's a COVID. I hadn't been to this one before. And I picked this job up from Reading near the railway station, and dropped that in Loughton. I got 63 for that. I got 56 for the first one and 63 for that. And I had to get back Monday night as well. I got something on later on Monday evening, about 6:30, 7 o'clock. So I was a bit tired. I couldn't do long distance, couldn't stay out. I did the Reading to Loughton. Took me a while to get there. M25 was a bit naff, but it's what it is, isn't it? It's M25. If it ain't naff, there's something wrong with it, because that's more the norm. And then I was just looking for a job, any sort of job, 50, 60 quid if I could. But I picked one up from Waltham Abbey, which ain't far from Loughton's. I don't know, it's about 6 miles. And it was going to White City. London again. It was north. White City's north. And I thought, yeah, this will be okay. And it was picking stuff up to go to a coffee house in the Westfield Centre, shopping centre in White City. Oh boy, the fun begins. I picked it up okay. Well, I didn't pick it up okay. It wasn't ready. I was meant to pick it up at 2. I got there at 10 to 2. It was 25 past when I picked it up. But it was only 3 bits for a coffee house. Pretty famous one in Westfield. Never been to Westfield Shopping Centre, and I'm going to tell you something, I'm never going back. It was a nightmare. I'm normally pretty good. The info worked brilliant. I was given. He said, I need your registration and your name to book you in to go to the loading dock. So I gave him that. I picked up the boxes from Waltham Abbey, made myself to White City. Traffic was pretty bad going down to White City. In fact, it was very bad. But I got there, and he put service yard B. There's A, B, C, and D service yards. I went to B. It's barriers. You have to speak into a speaker. I told him where I was delivering to, what coffee house, and he went, well, straight away, you're at the wrong service yard. You want service yard A. I says, fair enough, can you let me turn round? Yep, you must turn round though, you can't go inside. Okay, so turn round, found service yard A. It's a huge area. Went up to service yard A, up to the barriers, and this is where the problem starts. Security guard, he was, let's put this mildly. He was an arsehole. He was a total arsehole. Not helpful. In fact, unhelpful was the word. He went, "What's your reg?" He could see the van. He could see the reg. So I told him the reg of the van and where I was from, what company, and he went, "You're not booked in." He says, "So you need to phone your office up and get yourself booked in. You're not booked in. I'm not letting you in. You have to turn around, go and park out there on double yellows, by the way. Phone your office up, and when they've booked you in, you come back." And that was it. He shut the window. He was in a window, like in a little box with windows, sliding windows either side, but it was a small box, barriers in and out either side. So he wouldn't even let me go in a spin. I reversed because nothing behind me, so I just reversed back onto the double yellows. Phoned the shipper up, says, have you booked me in? Because he says I'm not booked in. He went, and he was having a row with a bloke in the office with him, saying, "Why ain't you have you booked this driver in? He's at the gate, blah blah this." I said, "Well, I want booking in. Just book me in, gate A, and phone me up when you booked me in, and then I'll go back and see him." So I waited 5 minutes. I thought, how long does it take to book it? So I phoned him back, the shipper, and I went, "I'm still waiting. You booked me in." "Oh yeah, mate, I booked you in." He says, "Oh, I forgot. Oh, I didn't phone you. I thought you'd just go back to the gate." "Oh, great." Goes back to the security guard, who now doesn't even open the window. And I went, "I'm booked in." I shouted through glass. It's great, isn't it? Shouted through glass. "I'm booked in. They've booked me in." And I wanted to know where to go. It's huge service yard. I want a coffee house. So I said to him, "Where do I park? What bay is the coffee house?" And he just went, "Park over there and phone them to come and collect." Right, I ain't got a number for the coffee house. So I went in, I thought, I can't speak to you anymore because you're not going to give me no info. So I drove in and parked in a bay. There's loads of bays on the left. And there was another van driver there who got an iPad and he says, "I can't even get a bloody signal." He says, "I've never been here before." I went, "Well, that's two of us, mate." I says, "And that ignorant git in that security is doing my head in." So I literally found a number through Google of the coffee house, Westfield Centre. No signal because you're underground. He ain't got a signal on his iPad to phone. He's this bloke from Derby, he was. I ain't got a signal, so I thought, well, I'll just go and see the security bloke. We ain't got a signal. He knew we hadn't got a signal because he went, "No signal in there, you have to go outside." So I walked outside, said the bloke from Derby, got a signal, phoned up. It didn't even answer. No one answered. No answer machine, no answer at all. So now I'm getting a right ump. This is a 40 quid job. I've done 20 miles. I'm getting good money for mileage, but now I've been here 25 minutes through no fault of mine. So I thought, this security, I'll give me one more go. And I went, "Mate, I ain't interested in them coming down to me. Just tell me where the lift is." Anyway, "You get them to call you." I went, "They're not answering the phone." I says, "Just tell me where the lift is. I've got 3 items. I'm going to go to the shop." And he just pointed somewhere like that and shut the window, slammed the window shut. I tell you, mate, I ain't much of a patient man. I try to be, because sometimes a smile's better than a frown. But I thought, one more word at you, and I'm going to drag you out of that fucking box, and you will fucking. I am the customer. I'm the one that's fucking looking for something, trying to be passive, but oh. And the bloke from Derby's the same. So I just got the stuff out the back of the van, locked the van up, went into a service lift, which I ain't got a clue, nor did the bloke from Derby. I go to the first floor, ask them at the coffee house. Love it. We've got a massive shopping centre. Made sure I knew where I come out, because it's all tunnels and bloody doors. Made sure I remembered so I could get back to my van. Anyway, gets to the floor, asked this person on a perfume counter in the middle. Ever so nice girl. She says, "You're on the wrong floor. It's one floor down, and I think it's further along." So I went down one set of escalators. I walked a good bit, and then I asked someone in a boutique thing, and she says, "It's right at the end on the right." And I gets there, and they was nice as pie. And I explained to her about this loading dock. She says, "They always say phone us. You can't phone us because there's no signal. What they normally do, the guys phone before, but they were really busy. And then we'll send someone to you." She says, "But it's fine if you only got a few items." And I told her about the security guard. I says, "He's a complete muppet." I says, he didn't even want to let me in. She said, "Oh," she said, "we have a few issues with security." She says, "But that's what it is." So anyway, I goes back to my van. I did find my way back. I've been on this job now 45 minutes. Like trying to get into Westfield Shopping Centre. I know it's only 20 miles, it's 40 quid, 2 quid a mile, but I have spent now over 2 hours on this job for 40 quid. Way over 2 hours for 40 quid. And I'm in White City, London. I ain't interested in jobs. I want to get home because I've got to get home. Anyway, gets to the van, and so did this bloke from Derby, believe it or not. He got to his van and he went, "What a shit place." I went, "Yep." So we go to go out the security gate. He's on his phone to his mate. He's been on his phone, FaceTiming, for a bit. So I draw his van up. The barrier's open so I can just drive out. And as I draw up slowly behind him, he don't even know I'm coming out. I'm sure he don't. He's on his phone to his mate. I blasted the horn so loud. He jumps out his skin and I just went, "Thanks very much for all your help." Thanks for all your help. Been a treat. Pleasure doing business with you. And drove out. His phone went everywhere. Frit him to death. I didn't just poop on it. I just kept my hand on it for a good bit. And I just said, "Thanks very much." Big smile on my face. Lovely. Been a pleasure doing business with you. You twat. Sorry about the language, but I had a bad day Monday. I'm decided London, I'm just... Anyway, out of White City, I just drove home. I'm North London. I'm 60 miles from home. Sorry, I drove home. So that day I did 267 miles for 160 quid. Only 60p, but it was apart from it, it's just a pain in the arse. And I did 9 hour day, just over 9 hour day, so it's alright. Anyway, Tuesday, again I've got to get home. It's been a shit week this week. I had to get home Tuesday. I had to get home today for this bloody diabetic screening. Tuesday, I got a meeting, which proved out to be quite good actually, but I had to be home by 6. I picked a job up, first job of the day. I picked a job from Crick, which is a fair way from where I am, but it's alright. I put it in the mileage, and it was 3 drops: Milton Keynes, Leicester, Loughborough. And I thought, that's good, because Loughborough's a good area around there. North Leicester picks up a fair bit. Colville all around there. I thought, yeah, that'd be good. I'll do that. Quoted 82 in it, and the pickup was from Crick, from a distribution centre. I've been here once before and it's been chaotic, but I thought, well, now I know where, because I didn't know where to go the first time, but I thought, well, now I know where to go, should be good. Yep, straight into the transport office, told them who I was, subcontracted, what company I was working for, 3 drops, it was all Scania stuff. And I've been to 2 of the places, been to one in Milton Keynes, and there was one in Leicester, Enderby, a logistics company, which I've been to before, so I thought, that's handy. But they couldn't find, and I had to be there for 9 o'clock. I got there at 10 to 9, they couldn't find the pallet. There's only 5 boxes. And I got the confirmation through a WhatsApp. So I was flicking through it, showed the lady, she gave me a loading, the sheet to give to the forklift driver to find it. And it was a lovely lady, and this is why I kept me cool. I thought, no, I'm fine with it. She couldn't find it. She was an Eastern European lady, but she was a lovely lady, and she was trying her best. It's a huge factory. They told me to go to door B, and it was B there, and to sort it out. So I gave it to the forklift driver. Bless her, she searched everywhere, and she couldn't find it. She said, I'll have to go explain that she couldn't find it, and she was really nice, and I was trying me. Again, I've been there over half an hour now. And she went to the office. They told her that what they were 5 boxes. They should be around the area. I'm not allowed in the warehouse. The doors are open. I can stand there. You have to stand in a certain area, and I can watch. And she searched and she searched, and I phoned the shipper up to say, look, I've been there now 45 minutes. He said, let us know when you leave, and we'll perhaps work some waiting time out. I said, yeah, that'd be handy. And the pallet they were on, which she didn't put on because they were going loose, was right by the door. It was about 10 yards from where I stood. I couldn't tell they were mine. She was looking for pallets all over the place. Anyway, eventually this other lady helped her, another Eastern European lady who was very nice, found them. They was happy as Larry to find them. I was happy as Larry to find them. But I was there 55 minutes, so I phoned her. And he says, how much should I put on the job? I says, if you put a 10 on it, mate. I said, it should be 20. I said, but put a 10 on it. because had a lovely attitude, and I'm quite happy. They were trying. They were trying. So I says, if you put a tenner on it, make it 92, I'll be happy with that. So that's what he did. He said, yeah, that's fine. If that's okay, that's okay. So I got 92 quid. I delivered Milton Keynes. Had to get off the motorway because there was an accident near Milton Keynes, which held me up a bit. And then I did Leicester. That was okay. Loughborough, finished at Loughborough. And then, but it took a long while. That has took a long while again. It took more hours than it should do. I'm less than 20 quid. I'm about 20 quid an hour, which is not brilliant. I look to get 25, but it happens, don't it? And then I picked a job up for a very local company who I do a fair bit of work for. Lovely, lovely people. Very small business of shippers. They work from home, and I got 2 cases, camera type cases, printers, and one big camera and one printer thing, all in seal cases. And I picked up from Colville, which weren't too far from where I was. I weren't actually in Loughborough, I was in Shepshed. And I went across to Colville and picked these 2 cases up. It was only a 40 quid job down to Leamington Spa. And I thought, well, that's all right. That's nearly not far from home, only 30 odd miles from home, 38 miles. Got to Leamington Spa, go to a residential address. I thought I'm going to have a nice early finish today because I ain't doing nothing else. And I got there and there were no one in. Wouldn't you just believe it? Got a phone number, phoned the number up, went to answer machine, left a message saying I was a courier, blah, blah, blah. And I was right near a big Asda in Leamington Spa, and I needed fuel, and it was cheaper fuel, and a big school. And then all of a sudden the car pulled up. I phoned the shipper, by the way, who got in touch with the original contact from where I picked him up. Said that our driver's on site, but there's no one there. And apparently he knew this man. He went, oh, that's strange, he should be. And then a car pulled up, and I was on the other line. They kept me on the line, and I says, oh, hang on a minute, there's a car pulled up. It wasn't him, but it was his mate. He said, I know where he is. He says he's picking his kid up from school in the car. He says he's probably 5 minutes away. So I said that to the shipper, and she says, see if he can sign for him. And I went, you all right to sign? Yep. And he was fine. And put me on the gate. The gate was open. Put me on the gate. He waited, and the car pulled up. So I was good. Went and got some fuel, and I just drove home that day because I've got to get back. So I did 132 that day, but I only did 240 miles. So it weren't brilliant. It was about a 7.5 hour day all in. So it weren't brilliant money, to be honest. But it's what it is. I'm a bit limited. If I hadn't had to come back, there was longer jobs. You know, there was a job to Edinburgh, which I would have took. That was after the Loughborough job. There was a job down to past Exeter, Barnstable, North Devon. That would have got me good money. And there was a job down to Hastings, would have topped my money up. But when you've got to get home, when you're limited, you can only really do short jobs. You can't bid on everything. You got to just prioritise local. But hey, anyway, so that's Tuesday. So today, I've got to be back earlier than what I thought. It was originally up at 6. Got to be done by 4. Picked a job up quite quick in Northampton. I left 8:15. And it was a short job. It was only to Kidlington, near Oxford. 40 miles. I quoted 36 quid. It was 41 miles all in. Got it. It was a pallet. It weighed 200 kilos. It was a small pallet. They had to dig it out of the place. It was from a tool hire company. Company that hires road rollers and plant hire. And it was going to their plant hire company, sister company in Kidlington. It was 200 kilo pallet. When they eventually found it, again, 20 minutes. I've had a lot of waiting this week. I've had a lot of waiting. But it was only to Kidlington, so it weren't too far. So, yeah, it took an hour and a bit, hour and a half all in. And I got 36 quid, so, yeah, it was alright. Then I was sorting some insurance out on my motorbike. I've swapped companies, and they wanted some details. So, Kidlington was a bit quiet, so I went through that for 20 minutes, sorted that out. And then I got a job out of Banbury to Brackley, which was only 18 miles, but I was 20 miles from it, so it was 38. I quoted 25 quid, and it was a pickup at 1:15. And I got the job, and in Banbury, the pickup was somewhere I'd been before. Really awkward little company to find. The first time you've been, you can't believe it's just tucked round a corner. And it's only because I asked someone the first time I've been, a couple of months ago, when he told me where it was, I thought I could have gone past this 100 times and never found it. It was like the back of a company down a little one-way little street, like the back of a company. But all right, good. Even Google didn't find it. Google got you to the front of the building, which is a different company. So that was good. So I'd been there before, so I got there and I was there about 20 minutes early, and it was ready. I mean, I parked outside. He says, "Oh, you come to pick up for Brackley?" I went, "Yeah." He says, "It's ready, mate." He says, "You can take it now." I went, "Brilliant." So I was 20 minutes early. And before I left Banbury, I was doing the paperwork. So I hadn't done the paperwork. I was doing the paperwork just around the corner, out of the way, and a job popped up from Brixworth, Northampton, to Little Addington, which is Wellingborough, just the other side of Wellingborough. Yeah, a bit the other side of Wellingborough. It's a village, but there's a little industrial estate. Which I thought, and it was 3 o'clock pickup. And I thought, yeah, I can drop this in Brackley, drive to there, and I can get it done and get home just about in time. I weren't even going to do the third job. I mean, I was on rubbish money again for the day, so I've had 3 days rubbish money really, but I haven't done many miles at all. You know, I've done about 700 miles in 3 days, which I can do that normally in 2. So I picked that job up afterwards. So I did the second job to Brackley, easy, absolutely easy as hell, quick drop, 3 items, and then I moved on to Brixworth, which was, I knew where it was. It was it's like plant hire again. They do a lot of, they have a lot of tipper lorries and they do a lot of landfill and all this. But there's a company at the back of it that do steel powder coating, and it was a pallet of powder coating to go to this company in Little Addington, easy peasy. So did 3 little jobs altogether. It only totaled 91 quid. Which, 91 quid? That's the worst day I've had for ages. But again, I'm hamstrung. I'm just, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, if I have to get home by 5 o'clock, this will never make money. But every night I've had to be home. So I needed 91 quid, but I needed 140 miles. So it works out 67, 66p a mile, every mile. And it was just a doddle. It was just 3 little jobs. It's easy. But I ain't going to get home tomorrow night, Thursday. I've decided I'm going to try and crack on. Luckily, I've got a good start. Tomorrow, I am picking up in Wellingborough just before 9. I'm driving up to top end of Newcastle, Morpeth, I think it is. Yeah, I'm meeting an engineer up there anyway. It's a 4-hour drive. I got 175 on that. I quoted 179 and he come back to me, said, "Could I do it for 170? I says, "No, my lowest is 175 because I'm coming from Northampton." He went, "Yeah, I can understand that." So that's got me a really good start to the day. I'll be done there. It's a 4-hour drive, 1 o'clock. I'll be done by 1:30, 2 o'clock latest. Then I'm looking for anything. I'll go anywhere from there. I'll probably drop down to Newcastle, about 10 miles away, and look for a job anywhere. And I'll stay out. So if I get another 100 quid job, 150 quid, even a 50 quid job, I'll get over target tomorrow. I'll bloody better. And then Friday, and then next week we're off. We're having a few days off. We try to get, me and my wife try to get some time off in November because it's busy, Christmas and after that. So we try and have a week when everyone else has probably gone back to work. The kids are all gone back to school. A quiet week. We're going down to the Broads. We're going to have a few days on the boat. And then, so I need to earn some money next 2 days. I'm hoping to crack 200 plus easy each day. I'm going to try and get to 500, 550 for 2 days. Watch your space. But it has been difficult. It would have been less difficult if I hadn't had to come home early-ish. I could have done more. Definitely 2 days I'd have got longer trips. But yeah, it's a quietish week for me. Hope you're all doing well. I'm up to 130 subscribers. If I do tramp tomorrow night, I'm going to try and do a video of showing you what I do in the back of the van, if it allows me, and then I'll put that on sometime later in the week. If not, I'll post again at the weekends when I've done Thursday and Friday. So if you want to like, comment, subscribe, if you've got any comments, I will answer them. It might take a while. Hope you're all doing well, making money. Yep, speak soon.